I walk over and open my closet door, looking at the closet contents and pausing when I saw it. I reached down and pulled out a bundle of rope, my hands shaking a little bit as I looked at it. My last resort. Hey guys, Kuderi Ghost here, and welcome back to Doki Doki Lost Ascension. So, we are back. Basically, they're planning to mess with the player because they blame him for some reason. Anyway, so we're going to do all of that to him at once, or I guess mainly you. Okay, so check out the last video if you haven't. So anyway, Natsuki piped up after she finished explaining herself. If it were me, I would personally take more time to really give him a... Yuri swatted her on the back of the head, glaring for a moment. Let's focus on getting through tomorrow first, right, Monika? What if it's a better tomorrow? Oh wait, wrong mod. I know. No, I know which mod it is. It's okay. I got it. She laughed. She smiled a little as I scolded her profusely for her slap. Monika's laughing a little. Jerk. We spent the rest of the club period talking about everything Monika knew and sharing some things that could be real eventually, including Natsuki's baking and Yuri's tea. We were able to sit down and enjoy the refreshments and talk, even with the premise of tomorrow. I just knew it would be okay with Monika around. Yeah, they're hinting. Yuri and Natsuki were becoming close finally. Monika mentioned that they normally hated each other. Whatever she had done with their codes and the files had really broken them out of their shells and each other and us. She even mentioned she had found things that she'd never seen before via code breaking like this. Emotions and reactions she had never thought of possible. But it was alright. I didn't much care so long as I had my friends, my club, and my family. Especially Monika. Okay, they're definitely hinting at something with Sayori and Monika, okay? She always took care of us. She loved us. She loved me. Okay. After we split up from the club for the day, we all walked out of the school together. I still wasn't sure of everything going on, but, well, I can't really lie to myself. I'm honestly scared to death of what's coming. It feels wrong to think about, but with everything she told us, it only makes sense. Again, where's the main character? Like, the player is playing, okay? So, where is he? Is he just sitting there? He's like, okay. I don't know. I would kick the occasional rock as I began my trek home. Monika offered me a bed to sleep in initially, but she retracted it quickly. Not because she hated me or anything, but because she was afraid of making him freak out too early. I still couldn't accept that behind that boy, the one I had thought of as a close friend for years, was this puppet for a heartless killer. They see us as an evil person. We're not evil. Is he really that bad? No, Sayori, okay? I'm playing as you right now, so like... My thoughts were sown with seeds of doubt surrounding my neighbor. Maybe he and I could figure out things together. I smiled to myself. Yeah, maybe I could convince him. But my thoughts shifted to the mysterious person controlling him. Some subconscious eventually stopped me on the empty street. If my fake childhood friend was this mean, then... was he just a representation of the guy behind him? No, because he just says whatever he wants. We don't like the main character, okay? most Doki fans do not like the main character. Okay? If you like the main character, comment down below, but I'm just saying. Okay? Did Monika ever think about that? I shrug as I continue to walk down the road to my house, stopping at my fence and looking over at his house. I've never felt so afraid of someone so close before. I turned away and went into my garden, closing the gate behind me and setting my backpack down on the ground. Taking a seat on my front porch, I cupped my face in my hands and pouted a little. This is so nerve-wracking for me. I found myself gazing off into space, the nighttime slowly beginning to take over in the small suburbs I was living in. Oh, over the small suburbs I was living in. My whole life? A lie? I leaned back on my front door, letting my arms rest next to my body, and my jacket flow open a little. I closed my eyes for a moment, letting the cool air waft over me before opening up them again. Okay, I read that out of order, but you got it. I don't know why, but I feel like I should be extremely distraught over this. I sat up and looked at my hands. For the first time, they felt real. I felt up my shoulder and gently felt my neck. It just feels real. All of it does. My frown began to show through, letting my usual smile fade as I stood up. I've never felt this confident as I am now. I picked up my bag, shifting it on my shoulder a little bit. I don't feel sad or like a rain cloud is taking over. Whatever Monika did for us really did change us for the better. Monika killed you, okay? You think the player's bad. He didn't delete you, okay? Monika deleted you. I turned and went into my house, putting my bag on the ground by the door before closing it behind me. I turned around and sighed softly, my mind directing me to get food. Ramen sounds so good right now. I pick up my bags and place it on the kitchen table, pulling out a fresh pack of ramen. Oh, I have a pack of ramen. Okay, anyway. It sounds good right now. It really does, okay? Sayori is making me hungry. Walking past the table with ramen in my hand, I dig under the cabinets to retrieve a pot. I quickly fill the pot with a generous amount of water and quickly unwrap the packet. I drop it in water and turn on the stove, slowly watching the water arise from a simmer to a soft boil. My stomach started to grumble as I put the meal together, feeling the water and the dry pasta gently bubbling around the steam. No pasta. God damn it. It all felt so familiar yet so foreign. I'm joking, by the way. Okay, pasta's good. Monika used to suffer because she was the only one. The pasta's gonna come out and grab her and boil her face off, okay? No, it's not. Never mind. The thought crossed my mind as I cooked. She did suffer, didn't she? I suddenly realized the ramen water began to boil higher, almost overflowing the pot and spilling it onto the stove. I quickly removed the pot and placed it on the kitchen table. Close one. I say to myself, see, you tried to boil her. I say to myself as I turn on my heels to obtain a bowl from atop the cabinet. I quickly remove the noodles from the pot and place them into the bowl. Soon I pour the steaming water and add my own spices. Ooh, make that spicy. Gotta make that spicy ramen, okay? It's the best way to have ramen, in my opinion. Sitting down with a fresh fork, I take my first spoonful and savor the taste. It tasted so good. I smiled to myself as I began to dig in, my thoughts finally resting as I enjoyed my meal. After I had finished my meal, I made my way up to the bathroom and changed into something more comfy. Okay. Laid out atop the dresser was my usual casual outfit. I decided against it. I wear it too much anyway. Hugging my warm pajamas, I scooted my way to my bed, stopping and looking over at my closet for a moment. Is that real too? I walk over and open my closet door, looking at the closet contents and pausing when I saw it. I reached down and pulled out a bundle of rope, my hands shaking a little bit as I looked at it. My last resort. My last resort? I shook myself. That isn't right at all. I threw it out into my room and closed my closet before picking up the rope, dragging it out over to my window and throwing it out. A resounding thud emerging on the ground. Why not just throw it in the garbage? I nodded to myself once. Never. I will never do that. You did it before. Not to them, not now, and not never. Not ever. Even though this felt like the right thing to do, it was so sudden my mind was churning. I put a hand to my head and rubbed it gently, letting out a well-needed stress relief sigh. I turned and plopped onto my bed, cuddling into my blankets and pulling up my favorite cow plushie. It was so soft and warm, too. I want one of those. Giving up your only chance of freedom for what? The possibility of getting a half-assed promise fulfilled? I shook awake as my alarm went off. I sat up and panicked a little. Where was I? Who was I? And when? Oh, right. I'm in my room sleeping peacefully. I hugged Mr. Cow tightly as I looked over my room. The cow is so cute, okay? They need to make a plushie of that. Yes, I hit something. Anyway. It didn't feel so foreign anymore now that I had slept in it normally. A small smile crossed my face as I stood up stretching. Today is going to be even a better day than yesterday. I knew it would be, especially with everyone being the way they are. I walked to my closet and pulled out a fresh set of my school clothes. I rubbed them on my face gently before I shook myself awake again. The fabric was ironically soft as well, so you don't even have to do your own laundry. I went back to the bathroom and changed again, brushing my teeth and looking at myself in the mirror, smiling widely and thinking about everything. I eventually left the room and went downstairs, thinking hard about what I wanted to have for breakfast. Eggs and toast! I said it out loud. That was the best breakfast I could possibly have. I went to the fridge and got out the eggs and dug into my pantry to retrieve the bread. Cracking a few eggs and cooking them, I tried to focus. Okay, I mostly focused. I kind of burnt them a little. But they still tasted really good, okay? I finished my meal, washing my dishes from last night with my breakfast dishes, sliding them into a drying rack. I turned on my heels and quickly gave my uniform a check before I made my way to the front door. I picked up my book bag from the sofa in the living room and strapped it to my back. I opened the door and made my way out, quickly locking the front door and set out onto the road. I looked back at my home. It felt much more homey now, even if it wasn't real or whatever. It's still my home, isn't it? I turned and took in the fresh morning weather as I began to slowly walk down my steps before remembering my job. I can't let him know about our sentience. I turn around and hide in the bushes, messing up my hair worse than it already was, crouching and watching for him to pass by. Okay, so now we're going to actually see the main character. The game, it changed again. I could tell just from the scene outside of his house. There was a length of rope in a bush. I'm assuming it was Sayori's, but that really doesn't matter. What mattered was that she was not acting herself. At least that was what I was assuming up until that damn screen popped up again. Hey! I could see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arm in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, that kind of friend that you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. I sighed audibly as I leaned back into my chair. Whoa! Sayori tripped, landing face first on the pavement. A quiet sob coming from her as she sat up, rubbing her cheeks gently. Meanie, why didn't you try to catch me? She was looking up at him, a sour look on her face as she stood up and brushed herself off. So this is the player, I think, talking. I'm not sure if this... I don't think this is the main character talking. I think this is actually the player. It's confusing now. Let's just go, okay? She stuttered a little bit as she stormed off past him. To my amazement, the MC seemed entirely unfazed by this, acting like this was a part of the normal game. I sat back and just watched. For once I was actually interested in it. I wondered what she did this time. I knew Monika was working on something big, but this seems extreme for even her. Messing with Sayori? What does this world come to? So is the player evil? He's sleeping. I watched him from outside his classroom. The game was leaving his model in a resting pose, one that had him staring off into space. I sighed at that point before walking in, his character muttering about joining clubs, in particular, the anime club. Why in the world is that considered cool by him? Just shows how neat-worthy he is. Yep. If you don't know what neat is, go look it up. You'll understand. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end the episode there. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, please leave a like. Also, if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button to become a ghost. And I appreciate both those things, and I will see you next time. Peace.